Ready too, Catherine? Ready? All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to settle in and get this meeting started. Good morning. Today's Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. The time is 9 a.m. We're here for a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Just for reference, we did get new speakers in, so he's adjusting this right now. Every week it's something new. Joe Neves.
Here.
Richard Valley.
Here.
Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Here. All right. Thank you. That'll take us to invocation with the Pastor Sherry Winter. Renderout? Thank you. Good morning. First
morning.
Presbyterian Church. Thank you for being here, Pastor.
Thank you. It's an honor to be asked to pray, and I'm glad to do it. Please bow your heads with me. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts for the freedom and safety that we enjoy here. We think of others in our world who are in war-torn areas such as Israel and Ukraine, and we ask for your mercy and help for them. Thank you for each of these supervisors and the responsibility they willingly shoulder in order to make the decisions that impact all of the citizens of this great county. We thank you for the life experience, training, and skills that you have entrusted to each of these men, and we ask for your vision, wisdom, and guidance as they meet today. Protect, guard, and bless each of them as they carry out this important work. We thank you and pray all of this in the holy and powerful name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Next up is unscheduled appearances. Any person may directly address the board at this time on any item on the agenda or any other items of interest to the public. We'll start with anyone who's filled out a speaker card. Madam Clerk?
Our first speaker is Dave Clevenger.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Board of Supervisors. Thank you for giving us this time. I wanted to just come and give you an update about the Kings Triangle Courtyard project. Made a lot of ground since I've been back since I was in front of you last time, in that the ground is covered up. Electrical conduits are in. We're finishing up a little bit of the top side electrical currently. That should be done here in the next day or two. The next step there is it gets inspected, and then that starts this clock for getting wire pulled to and electrical onto the site. That'll take 45 to 60 days. So in that time, we're already starting on sidewalks. We're finishing up the interiors. And then next week, you'll start seeing 3/4 inch ag base rock go into the middle for us to finish up surfacing and drive. And so we're anticipating mid-December of having the ability to turn units on. And then the final step will be having the accessible units. There's 4 accessible units that are supposed to go onto that site, being built and delivered technically after the first of the year, right after the first of the year. So that's where we're at with that project. Made a lot of progress lately. Have appreciated you guys' support all along the way, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Mike's on.
Yes, sir. We're trying. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for the time.
Appreciate it.
From Banner was supposed to speak next, but I don't see him on. The next speaker would be Kevin Cook.
Madam Cook?
I did speak to you all about 2 months ago. I voiced my concerns at that point in time as it relates to issues of the DA's office, my concerns for public safety. I talked to you about how people were leaving the office. Definitely try to encourage people to stay. I know some things have happened. Unfortunately, it's not correcting the problem. I have myself have given notice. I've been here for 17 and a half years. I will not be the last one this month. At this point, there'll be 5 people inside the DA's office that attorneys will be giving notice to this specific month. Actually, we've already lost 3 this month. Person. two persons have left this month. Another person and myself will leave within the next couple of weeks. Somebody else will leave this week. Also, I'm concerned that there also will be additional attorneys that may give notice next month. At this point in time, because of those notices that have been given, the attorney's office will be down to 10 attorneys, including both the supervisor, staff herself, as well as the supervisor. In my opinion, that's not sufficient a number to keep this public safe. Although the officers are doing a great job arresting people, bringing people into custody. Problem is, if we're not going to prosecute those cases, nothing can happen. Which is why I spoke last time because I was concerned that this is so now. 5 people that leave this month, and that'll be 60 years of trial experience. And although Ms. Hacker's doing everything she can, typically the attorneys that are coming in are level 1, 2s, newer attorneys that have basically no experience at all. They haven't done homicide cases. They haven't done attempted homicide cases, complicated gang cases, things like that. They're not experienced. I believe something has to be done to encourage people to stay once they're experienced it, to try to attract other people that can prosecute those type of cases. We just don't have enough attorneys with experience now to be able to do some of those cases, and I believe it's going to be a problem for the DA's office. I know the board is limited as to what they can do. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because I believe this is a serious problem. We have a lot of cases. I know that 2 of the attorneys that have left, since I'm the one that assigned these cases out, 2 attorneys left, I believe, had approximately 24 trials set. And some of those are fairly complicated trials, including murder trials. And I don't know how they're going to be able to cover all those with just the people they have left. So once again, I urge you to try to do whatever you can to assist Ms. Hacker and to come up with some type of agreement to try to encourage people to come, both new attorneys and experienced attorneys. Thank you.
Mr. Cook,
Yes.
you don't feel that a $15,000 retention bonus is a sign of encouragement of a show of appreciation and to hope you stay and keep doing your job?
So that is actually I said, you did do things to try to encourage people, and that was one of the things you did do, and I believe that is helpful. I can just speak for myself. I also took a job in Kern County as well. They're also giving me a $15,000 retention bonus, but they're also paying me about $45,000 more than I'm getting paid right now. And the benefits are comparable. So although that is one thing, there's other things I believe that the board could try to do, in my opinion, is that one of the things I know some of the other counties do is that they create retention bonuses to try to encourage attorneys who are experienced, who have years of experience to stay there. So for example, if they're 5 years, maybe they do a 2% or 3% above and beyond the salary levels as a retention type bonus. And then if they're there 10 years, they give them a little more. And 15 years, a little more, to try to encourage people who are in fact have the experience to stay there for a longer period of time. If somebody came and said, well, if you're here 5 years, you're going to get another 3% or whatever it is above your salary. If I'm here 4 years, I say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and stay, because that's something that enticing me to stay, which I don't believe this county does at this point in time. The one thing we did have was a $15,000, which the board approved last time, I believe, which is helpful, but I don't think it's fixing the problem.
All right, now I'll only ask you that. First of all, thank you for all your years of service. Hate to see you go. You're very much appreciated here. I hope you do know that and realize that. I think the board's actions over the last 3 months, specifically with the DA's office, has showed that we tried. And so when you said you came a couple months ago, you asked for a couple of things, the board did a couple of things. I just appreciate you identifying some of the specifics, because the last thing I would want to see is another story in the Hanford Sentinel making the board look bad that we're not here for public safety in the DA's office. Because when we do things specifically like give the DA's office $15,000 and many of the employees here didn't get a penny, then that falls hard on a lot of our hardworking employees' ears and their morale. And quite frankly, it hits me too, because no one has to come and say thank you. And by the way, no one from the DA's office has come and say thank you for the $15,000 bonuses. It's just been negative.
I would say that right now, just so you know, we did appreciate, everybody did appreciate it, so.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And once again, I'm not trying to put it on the board. I understand it's a very difficult situation. The economy is a mess right now. Everything is so expensive.
But I believe it does get put on the board, and it's not fair because we just had budget hearings. And she's an elected official, and she would speak up during the budget hearings. Same thing with fire. There's a fire chief, same thing, with any of the other departments. And we just did that. And to be back here and hearing the negative, it's difficult. I'm just going to be honest, and I'm only speaking for myself.
No, and I, once again, I do appreciate the board. I know you've done what you can. Like I said, $15,000 was a benefit. And it's just a difficult situation right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to put it on anybody specific. It's just something that needs to be explored the best you can to try to get this problem fixed.
There's variables. There's political
Right.
variables, right?
And I'm aware of some of those factors as well. And it's just an unfortunate situation.
But the public's not, and it's not fair when we get written up that it's just on us.
But
That's all I'm saying.
and I mean, once again, I've already explained what I'm getting specific. Other persons have gotten similar type of offers and situations. That's why they left. Some of us did not want to leave Queenstown. I mean, I've been here for a long time. Some of the other persons that have been here as long, but they were also here for a number of years. They didn't want to leave. It's just the opportunity someplace else is so much greater that it's something you just can't turn down. But I appreciate once again, 15,000 you did give us. That was appreciated by everybody, even if nobody acknowledged that to you. Once again, it's just not enough at this point.
Okay. We appreciate you, sir. Hate to see you go. God bless you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Curia Martinez.
Curia Martinez,
Whoa,
CEO.
we didn't approve this. No. Go ahead.
I am actually wanted to call Alex Walker up to the front. Alex Walker is our intern in our office. He started on July 6th and he's been in our office since. His last day is this Friday. He's been accepted to a Capital Fellowship Executive Branch program in Sacramento. Only 18 are accepted every year, and so this is very competitive, and Alex was one of those two. He has applied for the last 2 years, and this year was the year he got accepted. It's a 10-month program. We are really bummed to see him go because Alex has been able to do some wonderful things in our office. And I just wanted to extend my gratitude on his accomplishments here. And I want to personally thank Alex for all his time and commitment he spent in our office and just his responses, his demeanor towards us. He's just extremely professional. I know he will do well in any aspect of life that he takes on. So Alex actually wanted to talk a little bit about some of the projects he's done. So Alex, I'll hand it over to you.
Morning,
Thank
sir.
you, CEO Martinez, and good morning, Mr. Chairman and fellow board members. As CEO Martinez said, I first started here in July, and in that 4-month period of time, I was able to do a lot of county, and I really hope I made a lasting impact, not only in the relationships and interactions I've had with fellow county employees, but in the projects and work I've brought for the county. And some of the things I wanted to highlight that will leave a lasting impact and positive impact for our county is the new Board of Equalization website that I was able to design and build to hopefully make the application process more streamlined for people who want to utilize that avenue that they have a right to, in addition to finding information and resources that pertain to those issues. In addition, I also designed and built numerous pages for our many boards and commissions that we have in the county. So if our fellow residents are interested in applying to these boards and commissions, serving on these boards, entering public service at a volunteer level, this is an avenue that you can find that information and do so. In addition, I've done a lot of different research for the county on a variety of different topics, numerous social media posts, interactions with the public, being that public face and getting to really serve the constituents was really a unique thing to be part of. I'm very grateful to the opportunity that your board expended to me. And I also wanted to thank CEO Martinez for her mentorship, her passion, her drive that's made this a very fulfilling internship, not just giving me busy work. Trust me, there's lots of busy work, but giving me opportunities to speak my mind, give my opinion, and really contribute to projects in a meaningful way, which is what I'm always grateful for, and help to take that experience to Sacramento and really give my all to the fellowship program. As she mentioned, I applied for 2 years. I'm very grateful and humble to be a part of it this year. And I wanted to say that my commitment is still at Kings County. I want to bring that voice to Sacramento. And in addition to that, I want to come back to our community. One of the things I'm going to be coming back to is our Rotary Craft Feed, November 4th. I hope to see y'all there. Tickets are for sale, themorerotaryclub.org. But
Who designed that website?
I don't know. in all sincerity, I just want to thank your board, thank Kings County, because what I'm truly going to miss the most is not just the work, which I'm very passionate about, but it's the people I got to work with. The fellow employees that we have here at the county, they're exceptional, they're great. It's just truly meaningful to be a part of something like this, and I'm very grateful for the experience. And I wanted to extend my deepest appreciation to the county and just say, go Kings County.
Good job, young man. Appreciate your service.
So what about the football game?
Oh, yeah.
Football game, you guys got RSVP. It closes next week and it'll be October 28th.
Well, Alex, you certainly have made an impression, and so we certainly want to send you off to Sacramento with a couple of mementos. Be careful where you wear that. We want you to get in trouble in Sacramento. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, you'll be fine. We also have a one-of-a-kind guaranteed to be a family heirloom lapel pin with the Kings County seal. So you take those with you and always keep Kings County in your heart, buddy, because you got it home.
Good job. Yeah. All right.
That's
Anybody else?
all the speaker cards that I have, and it doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Okay. Anyone in the chambers at this time? No? Going once? Okay, we will move on to approval of the minutes. Item A, approval of the minutes from the regular meeting for October 3rd, 2023. Questions or comments?
So movement, Chair. Second.
Motion by Neves, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Thank you. Next item is consent calendar. We have 3 items been listed publicly on the agenda. If there are no questions or comments, Chair will entertain a motion.
No question or comment, move for approval.
Verboen, second.
Motion by Fagundes, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon. Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Consent calendar passes 5-0. Now takes us to regular agenda items. We have a couple this morning. First one comes from administration. CAO Martinez, would you like to present? Oh,
Yes, at this time, I would like to call Mr. Bob Henry.
Mr. Bob Henry. Morning, sir. Good to see you.
Morning. Bob Henry, Senior District Manager for the Pinnacle Waste Management Kettleman Hills Facility. Today is a quarterly report of facility activities. Report period covers from July 18th through yesterday, October 9th. I have a few items this morning, past activities. July 27th, Kings County Environmental Health Services at KHF, monthly unannounced inspection of MSW landfill B17. Hazardous waste landfill B18 and MSW landfill B19, which is currently under delay closures. During that inspection, there were no violations, no area of concern. August 28th, same inspection by Kings County Environmental Health, same result, no violation, no areas of concern. August 31st, Central Valley Regional Water Quality Control Board was at the facility. This is their semi-annual facility compliance inspection. It includes what they typically do is we have 2 waste discharge requirements or WDRs for the site, one for the HAZFA side, one for the MSW side. They come in and inspect us against those waste discharge requirements. During the inspection, no violations were noted. September 8th, Kings County was back out for their monthly unannounced inspection for the landfills. No violations, no area of concerns. But during that same visit, they did the annual underground tank inspection and records review. So we do have 2 underground diesel tanks, 1 underground gasoline tank. They were inspecting all the records and inspecting the tanks on the gasoline. No violations, no area of concerns during that inspection. September 26th, Waste Management begins construction activities at KHF, MSW landfill B17 phase C1. Landfills are typically built in phases. Landfill unit B17 was built phase A, B, and C. Subcells were A1, A2, and so on. We're building phase C1 at this time. We'll have C2, C3, and then that landfill will be built out. As you're building a landfill, as you build one cell, you'll have a little bit of a dome. Next one will be a little bit of a dome, but then you get the dome over both of them. So once we get C1, 2, and 3 built, then we'll be able to dome it over. Present volumes, we're still 45 years plus for our capacity out there. Okay. Also with the construction of C1, we're digging soil, we're moving soil. We're closing landfill unit B19. B19, I said, was under delay closure. What we worked out was we went ahead and took that. There's going to be no more extensions on closure or anything like that. It's going through closure, which is a 3-foot soil cap over that particular, the MSW. So 3 feet of soil we're putting over the top of soil that's coming out of C1 is going over and we're placing it on the top of B19. So that activity, we're building the landfill, the next little landfill C1, and we're closing B19. We're moving about 700,000 yards of soil right now. Okay. So it's going to take us, we're not on a fast pace for this one. So it'll be at least till the end of the year with the dirt work, and then we'll do the geosynthetics work probably right after the first of the year with rain subside. Okay. September 29th. DTSC issues KHF its VSP score, violation score procedure. Waste Management received an acceptable score of 0.63 for 2023. Kind of like the golf game, lower's better, all right? So if you get a 0 to 20, it's acceptable. If you get a 20 to 40, it's conditionally acceptable. And what DTSC will do is they will have an audit group come in and audit your facility. If it's greater than 40, they can revoke your permit. Okay, so it gets real serious. You can lose your permit if you have a bad score. They take 10 years of inspections and they figure out if it's just a pretty easy score. 10 years worth of inspections, number of inspections by the number of years, and that's your score. So 0.63 for us, it's a great score. Give you a comparison. A competitor in the state is in the high teens. Okay, so
pretty good. Pat yourself on the back.
yeah, that one's a good one, really is. October 2nd, Kings County Fire Department at KHF. Kings County Fire Department responded to a small fire in MSW landfill B17. Waste Management appreciates fire department's quick response in extinguishing the fire. So they got there. I had one operator on site, and then they came out and they helped us get that fire put out quickly. I think it was the first time I never lost a tarp. Giving you, because when you have the MSW landfill, I usually close at night. I'll put a tarp over a portion of the landfill. It was at closure time, just after closure, and give you an idea, those tarps run about almost $7,000 by the time I get them here. So. But this is the first time I didn't lose one, so I thank the chief and captain. I told him next time I see him out, I'll have to buy him lunch, you know, all the boys. But whatever. They did a great job. So thank you for your chief, for your help.
The fire was in the pit itself,
It was in the trash. Yeah.
so something was brought in.
And it was on a Monday night. It's typically, we won't find out what it was. I mean, you have the fire, everything goes up. You don't really have any way to go in there and do forensics and find out. Typically on a Monday, it's either somebody threw chemicals away, cool chemicals, whatever, you know, in the garbage, and it finally worked its way out for Monday. Sometimes it's spontaneous combustion from green waste. I don't think that was the case. I really think there was chemicals for this one. And I'll just ask that everybody, when you have chemicals at home, take it to the household hazardous waste collection. Don't throw it in the trash. Take it to the HHW event and it'll be disposed of properly. It keeps things like this from happening. Okay. Future activities, October 18th, Kettleman City Public Safety Event. Waste Management is an event sponsor and will be present with the booth. So happy to help out. Happy to see everybody. You guys are coming back out for the public safety event.
19.
That's what it says.
Yes.
I said 18th, huh?
Yeah, you had everybody nervous.
Okay, 19th. October 27th, Kettleman City Elementary School Annual Carnival, Waste Management, providing light plans for the event. So if you're in the area, come out for the carnival, help support the elementary school. November 20th and 21st, Supervisor Richard Valley Annual Operation Gobble Gobble. Okay, Thanksgiving turkeys for needy families in Avenel and Kettleman City will be given away. Waste Management is an event sponsor and will be assisting with the distribution again. So I'm glad to do it.
Thank you again, sir.
Probably should add on that, on the 19th, that there's one-way traffic on 41
Oh, yeah.
starting today. So maybe go through Avenue, cut off, and come back.
Yeah, we've already been getting construction on.
Yeah.
On 41. Next one, regulatory activity. You may hear about this one. KHF replacement of existing MSW low NOx flare with an ultra low NOx flare. It's about $1 million project we're going through for the new flare. Application was submitted to the San Joaquin Valley APCD on June 28th of 2022. San Joaquin APCD is expected to submit the application to US EPA, that's Region 9, for a 45-day comment period by or in sometime in the fourth quarter. So you may see, this is my ear district. Okay. You may hear about it. So they'll be sending that out and you may come across that it's being noticed and we'll be waiting for comment from EPA, if any, on that permit. So it's one that we're trying to get it built by the end of the year. So permitting, last item for this morning, DTSC Part B permit renewal. That's our 10-year operating permit. The tentative schedule right now, DTSC to complete their technical review by fourth quarter. Actually, they're looking to have it done by the end of this month. They're asking us to put information in the 3 libraries, Kettleman, Avenel, and Hanford, prior to the end of the month for the last permit, permit modification request. Okay, so we had the existing permit renewal that we put in, and we've had renewal, or not renewals, but we've had revisions to that permit. We're on number 8. And what we'll be doing there is putting the last revision in the public libraries. DTSC entered into an agreement with El Pueblo Green Action, and they will be translating most all that document into Spanish, where I typically, or in waste management, we would translate, let's say for an EIR, the executive summary and things like that, which was very helpful and gave you an overview of what the project was. DTSC has made a commitment to translate all the documents, so that is something that they're working on right now. So DTSC to make a draft permit decision, I believe will be in the first quarter of 24, go out for public comment, first quarter of 24. Hold a public hearing again in the first quarter. So I think what they're going to have is technical review is complete. It's going to be on the street. They'll probably have pre-meetings and then right after the first of the year, open it up for public comment. Okay. They should be able to make a final decision in second quarter. Depends on how many comments they receive from the meetings. So they'll go out for public comment. They'll hold a public hearing. During public hearing, whatever questions they get, any written, oral that night, any written from during the public comment period, they'll respond to, and that'll probably take them through the second quarter, maybe even into the third quarter. Okay. After they do that, hopefully they'll come up with the final decision to extend the permit. Appeal can be within 30 days of the final permit decision. So once it's final, we've had public comment, we've had public hearings, they've answered all the questions, and it's still to go forward, you can appeal it. Now, the appeal goes back to the board. It doesn't go back just to DTSC, it'll go back to the DTSC as a new board, Environmental Safety Board. All right. After it goes back to the board for appeal, which I assume it will, all my permits have been appealed since I've been there. I just finished my 35th year. They've all been appealed. So I would expect this one to be no different. It'll probably be fourth quarter of 24, first quarter of 25 before the appeal is heard and made a decision upon. It could be to approve as is. It could be a few modifications to the permit. Could be denied. So my hope is that it's approved as is. So, all right. So all I'm telling you right now, we're gonna have the technical reviews done this month. It'll hit the street, it'll be in the libraries, and probably right after the first of the year, you'll start seeing public meetings and public hearings, things like that. Coming, Doug?
Tom, very good.
Thanks, sir.
Very riveting.
Any questions or comments for Dr. Robinson?
I'll be glad to see you out there.
Supervisor Robinson? Just a quick one. What are geosynthetics?
Geosynthetics, when you have a landfill, let's say, you'll, cross section from the subgrade up, you have 3.5 feet of clay. Then -7 centimeter per second permeability. So it's a clay that the water won't go through it. Above that, you have a layer of HDPE, high density polyethylene plastic.
All right.
60 mil, and we weld that together. Usually we treat and weld it together. Think of it as a bowl.
Yeah.
And you have that layer of plastic. And then above that, you have a double layer of geocomposite. So it's what it is a heat bonded layer of textile, like a rug, let's say it.
Mhm.
And then between that, you have a geonet, which is just crisscross, so to allow water to flow through it. And another layer of geotextile. So it's 2 layers of geotextile with a layer of geonet between it. We call that geocomposite. So you have your 60 mil double-sided geocomposite, and above that, you'll have other layers. You'll have a layer, foot of gravel, textile over the gravel. That's your secondary side slope riser pipe. So that's your secondary line. You'll put a 1.5 foot of clay, another 60 mil layer of HDPE, another layer of geocomposite. And then you have another side slope riser pipe, and then you have a vertical. So geosynthetics are part of the HDPEs and the double-sided geocomposite. So it's the fabrics and things like that that go into the landfill. It keeps the layers separated between secondary and secondary lower one, primary upper one. And then what you do is the precipitation that comes in will end up being collected in the primary. Anything that gets through, let's say, down to the secondary, it's usually just construction water and is what goes up there, and you can pull those out. So every day we go out and monitor the primary for any precipitation that's gotten down into the primary. We check collection and removal system. Secondary, we'll go down and check that on a daily basis. And actually, we have a tertiary or a third, which is under that 3.5 feet of clay. We also check that on a daily basis.
Wow, okay. Thank you.
A little more than you want.
That's all right. I got the idea. It's giant filtration system.
I asked you about that tomorrow. I want you to.
Yeah, man, I got the, let's see, yeah, we got, clay, right? Clay's on the bottom, plastic,
60 mil.
right? I don't know about all that. So that clay, plastic, and so then we have the textiles, right? And then we'll call it a rug layer kind of thing.
Something that will allow, and when that goes up the side slope,
Yeah.
well, what you want is to have a conduit, so you have the clay impermeable. Okay. Then you have the HDPE, so they have that layer. And then any precipitation that comes down, it'll work its way down and it's supposed to. It will jump on that geocomposite above the HDPE, and then it'll have so much time before it can get to the sump. And you have to make it so that it gets to the sump so quickly, so you can get it out. So there's a lot in the engineering side behind them.
Very good.
I
Thank
need to
you.
take a tour out there.
Good job, by the way.
163.
That's amazing.
It really was a good school.
Anybody else? Yes, sir. Hey, thank you, Mr. Mr. Henry, appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you, gentlemen.
Next up is item B from Behavioral Health Department. Good morning.
Do we need to accept that report?
You want a motion to accept the report?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the report as presented.
I'll second. Motion by Verboen, second by Robinson. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
All right.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Thank you. Behavior Health, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Board of Supervisors. Christy Lucky, Deputy Director of Kings County Behavioral Health. I'm before your board today to request approval of the California Department of Healthcare Services Medication Assisted Treatment Expansion Program Memorandum of Understanding and Participation Stipend retroactively effective April 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025. In fiscal year 22-23, California counties were invited to join a learning collaborative by the California Department of Healthcare Services to learn more about medication-assisted treatment, also referred to as MAT services. Most specifically, as it relates to this MOU, to learn more about MAT services for those with involvement in the child welfare and juvenile justice systems. Kings County Behavioral Health was notified of acceptance into the collaborative February 2023 and received the final versions of the MOU in June 2023. 28 counties are participating in the learning collaboratives or through associated grant-funded activities, and the learning collaborative counties receive state-funded technical assistance through individualized monthly coaching, topic-specific webinars, quarterly learning collaboratives, office hours, and ad hoc trainings. The department's participation in the learning collaborative does not procure services from nor incur costs by a vendor. Rather, it is more so the department's participating in the previously mentioned educational meetings and webinars. Therefore, the $25,000 stipend is a participation stipend allocated by the Department of Healthcare Services to counties to help offset internal resource impacts such as staff time and attendance to all of these technical supports. This MOU is retroactive due to the timing in which the MOU was received from the Department of Healthcare Services third-party vendor managing this learning collaborative project, which is Health Management Associates, also referred to as HMA, in relation to when the learning collaborative began. So Kings County Behavioral Health received notification of acceptance in February 2023. The collaborative began April 1st, 2023, and we did not receive the final version of the MOU until June 2023. There was some back and forth with regards to some of the terms. There is no impact to the county general fund. Sufficient appropriations and estimated revenues in support participation through June 30th, 2025 were included in the 23-24 adopted budget to budget unit 422100, alcohol and other drug program admin. Kings County Behavioral Health respectfully requests approval of the California Department of Healthcare Services Medication Assisted Treatment Expansion Program stipend by accepting the memorandum of an understanding with California Medication Assisted Treatment Expansion Programs in gels and drug courts retroactively effective from April 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025. Thank you for your time. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
There's no question or comments. I'll approve the MOU, even though it's retroactive to April.
Thank you, Superintendent. Motion, can we have a second?
Yes, seconds.
Second by Nabs, Madam Clerk.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Item passes 5 in favor. We have one more item from, no, that was the retro. Okay, on to Public Works Department.
Actually, public health. Should be number C.
Public Health, sorry. Item C, Public Health Department. We have two. Morning.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Heather Silva, Public Health. For our first item, I'd like to bring up Zarina Martinez to present this item.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. Zarina Martinez, Nursing Division Manager. I'm happy to stand before you today representing Public Health to announce October 2023 as Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Awareness Month in Kings County. Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, commonly referred to as SIDS, is the sudden death of an infant before their first birthday, which is left unexplained after a comprehensive case investigation. In California, SIDS is one of the leading causes of infant death. The cause of SIDS is currently unknown. It is also not preventable and is not predictable. However, there are factors that can be controlled to lower the risk of SIDS. In pregnant and parenting people, start prenatal care as soon as possible and keep up with recommended appointments. Exclusively providing human milk for the first 6 months, either from breastfeeding or through pumped milk, has shown to a reduction of risk for SIDS. For families with infants, keeping a smoke, drug, and alcohol-free environment and creating a safe sleep environment which includes placing babies on their backs to sleep on a firm, flat, and level sleep surface. Room sharing and not bed sharing will decrease the risk of SIDS. Other risk reduction strategies include avoiding swaddling babies once they start to roll, avoiding items like crib bumpers, pillows, and weighted blankets, as they can cause injuries and death from entrapment, suffocation, strangulation, and SIDS. Providing constant, up-to-date education to the community is essential to continue reducing the risk of SIDS. It is critical to reach out to as many unique community members as possible about SIDS, since parents are not the sole caretaker of infants. The Kings County Department of Public Health educates and connects with the community regarding SIDS through hands-on activities, educational material, and social media. SIDS Awareness Month provides an opportunity for promotion of creating a safe space for infants. The department recognizes the importance of creating awareness and understanding of SIDS in efforts to protect the most vulnerable members of our community and thus decrease infant mortality. The Kings County Department of Public Health is asking the board today to adopt a resolution proclaiming October 2023 as SIDS Awareness Month in Kings County. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Any questions or comments?
Motion.
Motion by Robinson,
Second.
second by Verboen. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Thank you. We have one more item.
Yes. Good morning again. Heather Sell with Public Health. The Kings County Department of Public Health's Maternal Child Adolescent Health, also known as MCAH. Our program is asking the board today to approve the MCAH agreement funding application. The MCAH program is a core public health program whose purpose is to promote the health of women of reproductive age, pregnant women, infants, children, adolescents, and children and youth with special health care needs in Kings County. This is accomplished through partnerships, empowerment, and education of individuals while funding and administering MCAH-related programs and initiatives, as well as collecting, analyzing, and monitoring data related to the MCAH population. The MCAH program includes a public health nurse's time to work directly with medical providers as well as the community to educate and promote early comprehensive prenatal care to Medi-Cal recipients. It also provides funding for a public health nurse to serve as a SIDS coordinator who investigates and counsels families after an unexpected sudden infant death. In addition, the MCAH program provides education on MCAH health and wellness, as well as safe sleep and linkages to health and social services. The goal of the maternal child health program is to improve birth and health outcomes for women, infants, and children residing in Kings County. This agreement is retroactive due to the application timeline provided by the California Department of Public Health, MCAH branch. The initial application document was received on June 1st of this year, when our current agreement expired June 30th. So the county submitted the documents required for the pre-approval, and then it was turned around and approved by the state on August. It went through the county's internal review process, which includes review by the department, county council, risk management, and county admin. Our department respectfully requests your board to approve the MCH agreement funding application and to authorize the chairman to retroactively sign the term of July 1st, 2023 to June 30th of 2024, as well as adopt the budget change. This concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
There's no question or comment. I'll move as presented.
Motion by Verboen,
Second.
second by Fagundes. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good work. Okay, now on to Public Works. Item D, we have 3 items this morning. First item. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mitchell Cabrera, Chief Engineer with the Public Works Department, before your board this morning with the first item, which is a request to approve a funds transfer agreement between the county and the California Department of Transportation in order for the county to receive $6 million in Assembly Bill 179 funds for the Kettleman City Pedestrian Bridge Project. This is in conjunction with the previously awarded and approved $2 million that came in through the Senate Bill 170. The original $2 million were accepted through a similar agreement, funds transfer agreement for the design and right-of-way for the pedestrian bridge project in Kettleman City. And these additional $6 million will help cover the majority of the construction costs. The agreement has been reviewed by both the Caltrans state and also county council. And the request is to approve the funds transfer agreement to receive that funding from Caltrans.
I appreciate you bringing this on and getting the money here versus it sitting up there. So good work. Thank you. Any questions or comments on the item?
I have one.
Supervisor Robinson.
Yeah, I know. I'm an endless record on this one. Once again, on the record, hey, I appreciate all the efforts of Chairman Valle for his district. He definitely wants to help people, as do I. We just disagree on how to do it. So I will be voting no today. This is the type of reckless spending that has led to about a $32 billion deficit in California. The 2021-22 grand jury believed these costs would be about $10 to $12 million. I hear other projections from $7 to $9 million. Either way, it's too much for too few. About 16 kids would benefit from this bridge. As Caltrans and the grand jury point out, many of them may not even use it. I like flashing lights like the Hawk system. I like roundabouts to slow traffic down. And I like underpasses as they were much cheaper. We in the state of California have limited resources. We should use them wisely. I don't view state money as free. Let's stop this now and stop throwing good money after bad. Yes, we should be compassionate people, but this is just too much money for too few people. $7 to $12 million could be used much more efficiently, from law enforcement to levies. I agree with the 2021-22 grand jury. Vote no. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Chair will entertain a motion.
You did.
Sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Thanks, Supervisor. No second. Second by Fagundes. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Supervisor. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
No.
Rusty Robinson,
No.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 3 in favor. Thank you. Okay, so on to item 2.
Second item before your board this morning is another request. This is for an approval of the appraisal summaries required for the right-of-way acquisition for the 17th and Houston Avenue Signalization Project. Going back to October of 2017, the board awarded the design and preparation of the plan specifications and engineer's estimate for the project at that signalization of 17th and Houston Avenue. We have the plans, the specs are complete. We're currently in the right-of-way and utility relocation phase. And this request is to approve the appraisal summaries for 3 properties that are going to require acquisitions. The first property is a Thorbus property on the northeast corner. That is 14,000 square feet. The second one is a Hanson property in the southeast corner. It's around 5,500 square feet. And the last one is the Barcenas property on the southeast, east of the Hanson property, in the amount of 1,300 square feet. The total amount for this right-of-way acquisition is a little over 40,000. It's reimbursable through the CMAQ project, which is the federal reimbursement. 88.53% of that is reimbursable, so around 35.8. And so it'll leave 4,600, which would be paid through the county road fund. Once if these right-of-way appraisals summaries are approved, we'll be able to begin the negotiations with the property owners. And then at a future date, the actual purchase agreements will be brought before your board for approval at that time. So the request is to approve the appraisal summaries so we can begin that negotiations with the property owners and get this project going forward closer to construction.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Question by Verboon.
So how many signals lights do we have under county jurisdiction?
It would just be one currently, the 13th and Lacey.
And this is not in the city of Lemoore?
It's just outside.
It's just outside. But we're doing the work. They're going to probably annex that as soon as we get it done, correct?
But we hope that the 13th and Lacey, but it's still our signature.
I think the city limits stop at the Lemoore Main, right there at the King's Christian School.
Okay.
So and the city has not expressed a lot of interest in annexing anything
that side of the Lemoore Main, just because getting utilities across the Lemoore Main, but
There was some talks about a development going in, opposite of the southeast corner of the Hanson property. But I don't have any more info. on
right,
that.
it's kind of. yeah, a lot of times these things are put in, I mean, the money comes from the growth. Doesn't come from the county. You know, people pay for it as they, do we get paid back as it grows out this way? I know we've done some signal lights for the school districts and, you know, we would have to put money aside for the future project coming up within 10 years. We put in $25,000 or $50,000 for future growth. But there's no future growth from City of Lemoore to that direction, but yet we're putting the signal lights in, so we don't have any way to recapture our cost. But it goes to CMAQ funding, so yeah, I'm just trying to understand it because.
Yeah, so the project is funded through CMAQ. Originally, it's for the congestion at that intersection. So independent of growth anywhere, the problem that was faced at the time that it was studied as an intersection study was the amount of traffic queuing and backing up at that intersection. So the thought is the intermediate solution was a four-way stop, all-way stop, until we can get the signal put in place.
No roundabout.
Right-of-way cost would be a lot more than 40,000 if we try to do a roundabout.
That's kind of a short, there's not a lot of room there. There's developments on two corners and then vacant ground on two corners, but it would be pretty expensive to acquire the
right-of-way for a roundabout.
Right-of-way for a roundabout. Thank you. If there are no other questions, Mr. Chair, you have to move forward.
Thanks, Sue Nevs. Second. Second by Fagundes. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Thank you. I continue.
Yes, the third item before your board is now a request to approve the project plans and specifications for a partial remodel of the Kings County Fire Station number 5, located in Armona, and also authorizing the Public Works Department to advertise the project. Public Works Department has been working with the fire department, the fire chief and his staff, since the project was obtained through the California High-Speed Rail Authority as a result of needing to relocate Fire Station number 4 in Houston Avenue. Funds were provided for the new Fire Station 4 and also a remodel of Fire Station 5 in order to be able to house additional staff and the required fire equipment, ladder truck to be able to be stationed at Fire Station number 5. The partial remodel will consist of expanding the living quarters, reconstructing and expanding the fire apparatus bay, and also reconstruction of the existing parking lot. Through the RFP process, county staff was able to hire DKJ architects to prepare the plans and specs based off of their qualifications. They have finalized the plans, specifications, and estimate package, and we're ready to get this project going to construction. So we'd like to request the approval to advertise and approval of the plan specs and estimates. The estimate for the project is roughly 2.7 million, and the construction duration is roughly 180 calendar days. So with that, if you guys have any other questions, we'd be happy to answer.
If there's no question or comments, I'll move as presented.
I'll second. Motion by Verboen, second by Robinson. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Item passes 5 in favor.
Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Bill Lynch, Kings County Fire Department. I just want to go on record and thank the Public Works Department for all their effort with this project. It's been long drawn out. We've had a few setbacks, but I want to thank Mitchell and Patricio, and also want to thank Dominic for their unwavering support for the fire department to get this thing done. So thank you for the vote.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Item E comes from Sheriff's Office. We have 2.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dave Robinson, Kings County Sheriff. I know this kind of seems repetitive because I've come before you for these SRO contracts. This one here, we're actually going to absorb in our budget, so we'll actually see a funding stream come in. We've assigned a deputy to Island School, and the contract is the same as the other contracts that you've seen before you for the other schools here in the county. And so we've assigned that school resource deputy through the end of the school year at the request of Island School. It's a great partnership. It's a way to keep schools safe, and we look forward to providing them that service. If the school chooses to make this a long-term agreement, then we'll work through the budget process next year to hopefully incorporate, either a full-time or a part-time deputy sheriff in the island school. So that's what you see before you as item number one today is consider approving the agreement with Island Elementary School District. These have gone through county council, and I really appreciate Diane and her staff, very limited staff, on cranking through these contracts for us so we could make sure we keep these services going. 1B would authorize the sheriff to sign the agreement with Island Union Elementary School District for the school resource deputy for the school year 2023-2024 school year. So I can answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions or comments for the sheriff?
No, I'll make a motion to approve. Thank you.
Motion by Verboen. Second by Robinson. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Item passes 5 in favor. Sheriff?
Thank you. My second item, I'll get on my soapbox a little bit for this next item. It's the consider adopting the resolution authorizing the participation with ABC to do minor decoy programs. We've done this for decades. And we were actually notified that we were not going to get awarded this year. And Sergeant Mazes, who's in the back of the room, then received a phone call from them that another agency declined the grant. And so they reached out and said, hey, we would like to award this grant to you guys. It's to the tune of about $50,000 to do the minor decoy program that we've done for decades at the sheriff's office. So we appreciate that effort. And my little bit of soapbox is, in society, we've gone away from accountability. And this is one of those things where we still do enforcement for liquor stores trying to sell booze to minors. And it's a little thing that we do that has a big impact in our community and still sets a tone and sets a standard that we want to prevent these things from occurring in our community. And I wish we could do this more on other fronts as well. But this has been a great program. You saw a recent news article where our staff went out and did a minor decoy program a few months ago. And the discipline was just recently issued by ABC on that store where they were suspended for, I believe, 10 days. And so it's a great program that we do. And so we're here before your board to accept this grant and continue operating that program through the sheriff's office. Be happy to answer your question.
Thank you, Sheriff. Questions or comments?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Fagundes, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff. Okay, that takes us to board member announcements. See, Nez, you ready?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, continue to watch the water in the lake. Continues to go down about three inches a week or so in a couple of lake locations that I measure, and it's moving in the right direction. Last Wednesday, I had the pleasure of working with the Human Services staff with the Philly Cheese Sandwiches Day. Want to thank Richard Fagundes. John Devlin did a wonderful job seasoning the meat. Bill Lynch, Jim Kilner, and my wife Kathy prepared about 175 pounds of beef, bell peppers, and onions. Ada Guzman and the Boosters Club did a fantastic job of organizing the day, and everything worked out well. I wasn't really sure if it was a Kentucky Derby theme or a Fresno Fair horse racing theme, but either way, it was a great theme and a great day for everyone that attended. I had the pleasure of announcing the West Hills College Golden Eagles as they played the Porterville Pirates in volleyball court on Wednesday evening. Reviewed the South Fork Kings GSA presentation. They have been working with the State Water Resources Board as they prepare to resubmit the plan, and then still working through the probation hearing that will be coming up sometime in the future. Went ahead and announced a football game on Thursday night with Mission Oak. It was homecoming at Lemoore, and the stadium also has newly installed LED lights. So between the new lights on the field, sure made a great game. Friday, the American Legion Post 100 breakfast is well attended. And also with Supervisor Verboen on Friday morning, the Westlands Almond Solar Project ribbon cutting took place. That energizes about 26 million megawatts of power, enough to power approximately 5,200 homes a year. Noelle Tomlinson from Community Development did a great job. This was her first project she took from start to finish. And so she had the honor of cutting the ribbon and putting that development in onto the grid. One unique thing about this project is that the panels are you can see through them, transparent, so they actually collect on both sides. So if you go down 41, that one has the two 8-foot panels end to end, or 16 feet of collection. These panels actually have 16 feet of collection because they collect on both sides of the panel. And even though they continue to track the sun, they are making power on both sides. So it's pretty innovative and nice to see that project come back online. Couple of setbacks, but it definitely, I think it started in about 2017 or so.
2013.
Yeah. Oh, well, with the
shelf. Yeah.
yeah. So it's had some delays, but it's online. Friday was homecoming at Lamar High. Band, the parade and everything worked out well. Saturday, attended a fundraiser at Applebee's to enjoy pancakes, scrambled eggs, and sausage. And then the Hanford Renaissance Fair took place in downtown Civic Park, also on Saturday. And then yesterday, got together with Jim Kilner and Kathy again, and Greg Bush, and prepared about 200 tri-tips for the Lamar High School band boosters. And so that worked out pretty well. Some of them were a little bit Cajun style, a little burnt on the outside, but everybody had their eyebrows and everybody had most of the hair on their arms when we got done, which is always a good thing. So with that, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good work. Thanks, Supervisor. Now, Supervisor Fagundes.
The only thing I had to help a little on the HSA, and it was very impressive how they put that together. And the boosters chipped in and did a lot. So it's very impressive for the county, the way they get together and do that. Good, thank you.
Good work. Thank you, Superintendent. Supervisor Bennett.
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Nothing to report at the time. Sue Robinson.
Last Friday, met with the grand jury for a couple hours and we just,
Put money in the swear jar.
no money in the jar. I think I had to hand out a bunch of cards. We talked about everything from water to homelessness. Quite a while. What do you do? Why'd you have to pay money?
I just want that.
Saturday, things went better. My soccer game went well. We finally learned defense. And lastly, my prayers are with the people of Israel and their firm resolve. Thanks.
Thank you. I want to start off by saying, thank Kyria for helping out in IT yesterday. I was like many of you, I was a victim of somebody, sending out a fraudulent email and, trying to get down the road of, perhaps trying to get some money. And so, curious if this was, happened before in the county as far as people sending these types of emails, the same language and, asking you to respond. And so, but whoever's doing it, they pay attention because they know I'm a veteran. So they created a Gmail account with Richard Valley at Veterans Affairs. And then they sent it out to Corcoran officials and some officials here at the county. And so I understand if you reply back to that, then they ask you to send gift cards and go get codes, take pictures and send me the codes of the gift cards. So thanks for helping to shut that down. They actually emailed it to me too. So I got on my county email. So they, I don't know what they're thinking, but I guess it's worked a couple of times in a couple occasions, or it gets the ball rolling to get close to work. And so just be vigilant on that. So thanks. And then lastly, I don't want to argue about the Kettleman Bridge, Sue Robinson. I didn't take you up on during the item, but it is hard to hear. I do understand your passion for being conservative, but I don't hear you talk about that on anything else. Just the people of Kettleman City. And so I won't debate you on it. What I will do is October 19th, come to the health fair, introduce you to the community, and say the same thing that you just said here about, their children, their Hispanic kids, not being worth the money to be kept safe. And you can say that there. I'll put that there for you. I'll introduce you to that. You can tell me how the grand jury is more qualified, even though no one from Kettleman City is represented on the grand jury and no one from my district is represented on the grand jury, how they're more qualified than the 80 members of the state assembly, 40 members of the state senate, and the governor who sent the money. And we're blessed to get the money. And I worked hard for that money, and we're past that. I would respectfully hope at some point the community can have your support on that, because it is a big deal. And we got Public Works working very hard on it. Highway patrol people, fire patrolmen, firefighters, deputies have all talked about how dangerous that thing is. And I don't understand how we just keep going there, but respectful, like you said, respectfully to me. That's disappointing. Thank you. CEO Martinez.
So for board correspondence, the board received a certification from Lakeside Irrigation Water District dated October 4th regarding the appointments of their board. The board also received from the September 2023 monthly Kings County Investment Pool Transaction Report from our Director of Finance dated October 2nd, 2023. The board also received correspondence from Bob Notley dated September 30th regarding the Kings Speedway. And lastly, the board received correspondence from Merchant Associates dated September 26th regarding federal funding and grants available to Kings County. For upcoming events, the Kings County Sheriff's Office and Hanford PD will host their annual cornhole tournament October 14th at 11 a.m. Rise Above will be hosting a youth empowerment program, career building, where they will share insights and practical tips for professional development that will be held at the Technology Learning Center in Corcoran. There will be a free Kings County Public Safety event that will take place in Kettleman on Thursday, October 19th from 5 to 7. Friends of the Kings County Library will have their book sale at the Hanford Library on Saturday, October 21st from 10 to 2. There will be a county crawl in downtown Lemoore, October 21st from 10 to 2. And lastly, the Kings County Farm Bureau will host its 9th annual Harvest Golf Tournament on Monday, October 30th. For upcoming agenda items for next week, administration has an item regarding claims for damage. Ag has a cooperative agreement with the state. County Council has 3 items, and Health has 4 items regarding some MOUs with Kings County Action Organization, KCAO, and Fresno State for an internship agreement. Human Resources has 3 items, the county service award presentation, so the board meeting will be a little bit more lengthy that day. We have a new job specification for a law clerk position and a agenda item for a reorganization of the district attorney's office. Human Services Agency has 3 items, 2 separate agreements with University of Massachusetts for some internship opportunities and a study session regarding the general assistance electronic theft replacement of benefits. IT has an item regarding a change order to the Cherry Road contract. The library has a holiday closure for November and a proclamation from Friends of Library Week resolution. And lastly, the sheriff item has an item for purchase of disposable garbage disposal for the Kings County Jail. That concludes my report. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that takes us to adjourning this meeting, and a closed session is next. There may be a limited closed session, if any, but most of these items will be brought back, or publicly we ought to announce that most of these items will be delayed till next week.
I believe that we are going to go into closed session on some or all of the intended topics. So the closed session item stands as is, and we'll report out as appropriate and bring them back as necessary.
Okay, thanks for the clarification, council. Thank you, everyone who participated, for your time. Thank you. All right, good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. The time is 11 a.m. We're here for a regular meeting of the California Public Finance Authority. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Here.
Richard Valley.
Here.
Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Here.
Thank you. Next up is approval of the minutes from June 20th, 2023, regular meeting.
Neves moves.
We're both second.
Motion by Neves, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
All right,
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
item passes 5 in favor. One item under consent. It's an engagement letter with the Tully's Law to provide issuer counsel services to Cal PFA.
Neves moves.
Second.
Motion by Neves, second by Verboen. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Public comment. Anyone online or in the speaker cards? There's nobody in the chambers from the public.
I have not received any written correspondence and no one online with their hand raised.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Anyone online for staff updates?
I do not see anyone from Cal PFA online.
All right, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Job.
Boom, 1 minute.